President Trump, of course, placing a 25% tariff on all foreign-made autos, which last year accounted for nearly half of all new cars that were purchased in the United States, which comes alongside tariffs in auto parts, which may begin here. They're set to begin on May 3rd. Here to talk about the impact of that sector is the head of Canada's second largest auto parts producer, Jim Jarrell, Linamar CEO and president. He's joining us now. So, Jim, what's going to be the impact on the auto industry?
Well, morning, and thanks for having me here. I think we're getting a little bit more clarity now, which is important, obviously. So what we know right now is we have the auto, obviously the 25% tariff set in place, which of course is you deduct whatever the USA content is. We have the original steel and aluminum 25% in place. And our understanding right now is anything that really is USMCA compliant is exempt. Now, there is some details around there that there's a May 3rd date, but we expect that, the USMCA compliancy is going to be the record going forward, right? Because again, that was negotiated. I think it was a good deal. The administration, President Trump obviously himself, made that deal back then. So we think that from the auto parts sector, I think being in North America, U.S., Canada and Mexico will be exempt, obviously, with the initial steel, aluminum, and then now the new auto tariffs in place.
So what does all of that add up to?
Well, for us, it's probably not that material at this point in time. Obviously, the steel and aluminum does have some impact on Linamar, but we're looking at this, more on the opportunistic basis because of what we now see with the USMCA compliancy. And of course, being exempt, now we can have more trade of parts back and forth across the border. And quite frankly, to have that complexity of putting tariffs on all the components, it's just very difficult, very complex, because there's such a cross-border, arrangement. And it's someone was mentioning the other day, it's like unraveling an omelet, right? There's such an integration of what we do together. And, quite frankly, now with the clarity, we think that, there's probably the trade between the components will remain as it is.
So in Canada, are they breathing a sigh of relief today?
I think there's a bit of a relief on this sector on the component side. I think, of course, on the auto side, the full vehicle, less the deduction of the U.S. content, I think there's some real concern there. I think our leaders understand that we need to make a deal, of course, with the U.S. administration. But again, I think there's a little bit more of a relief today based on where we got to. But I think at the end of the day, from a Linamar perspective, this could be looked at as a business person's nightmare, but we look at it sort of as an entrepreneurial dream for us because we see a lot of growth opportunities for us in the market.
Okay, Jim, thank you for the take. Appreciate it. Jim Jarrell,
All right,
Linamar in Canada.